Patrick Johnston joins us now. PJ, thanks so much for taking the time. I know it's been very touch and go for you as well as you head on down to Rogers Arena. Just your initial reaction to the news of the day that Rick Tocchet is walking away from the Vancouver Canucks.
First of all, Dave, I want to recognize how close I am to your ancestral home. I'm just west of Wellington on Francis. So, it's like around the corner from what I understand. Beautiful spot, great place. I can see why you're such an excellent young man. Rick Tocchet, man, let's be selfish here. First of all, what a loss for the media. That's the number one. No, seriously. No, this is the fourth coach. They 4 coaches in 4 years. Like, what are we doing here, man? Like, it's just absolute bananas what's happened to this organization. There used to be a place of stability, used to be a place that people wanted to go. And now we're sitting at a place that people keep leaving, no matter what level they're at. I mean, I wrote about this a while back, but, you can talk about behind the scenes. Senior VP of marketing is gone. Like, there's all kinds of people that leave this place. Now your head coach is leaving. You're affable. Like, listen, I get that some people were frustrated how the team performed this year. They blame the coach. But let's be clear. This was a guy that was like a positive for this organization. A guy that connected with his players. Quinn Hughes, the best coach I've ever had. Like, the president wanted to keep him. They couldn't get it done. So what does that tell you? I mean, I was talking to J Pat's wife, is helping her out with CTV, and she put it, who? And I said, well, who's going to come here? Like, these coaches all talk to each other. Coaches don't leave teams. They don't. And Rick Tocchet's left. What a mess.
You and I love talking about practice facilities. It was reported that was a hang-up for Rick Tocchet, that there was no practice facility, and that really there's no plan, and it's been 15 years of this, as you astutely wrote last week. I really liked that article. If people haven't checked it out, province.com, just search 15 years practice facility Patrick Johnston, put that in Google, you'll find the article. It has been 15 years, PJ, and the thing I said yesterday was, at some point you're either serious about it or you're not serious, and the Canucks are certainly on the latter of that.
If you're serious about it, you're willing to put the money down. Right? Like, you don't go around talking to all these people and struggle to make a deal. These owners built stuff, right? They know, it's not like they don't know how to make a deal. It's pretty clear what's going on here, and there is one consistent factor, and it's the Canucks can't seem to make a deal with anybody. So why is that? But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure we'll hear from, and we've heard a little bit from Rick Tocchet, but I'm sure we'll talk to Rick Tocchet and we'll hear more, and he'll say what he wants to say. But listen. If you're the head coach and you're looking at the situation and you're looking at JT Miller's gone, you're looking at a star player who's making a huge salary, who's just coming off an awful year and is potentially locked in forever, then you have a chance to sit back and think, okay, what do I really want to do here? What are the circumstances? I mean, it just speaks so many volumes. Whether the practice facility was the thing, I don't think I have a hard time imagining it is the thing.
For sure.
But it's certainly possible that it's a thing, right? It's not a great look, and it comes back to, like I said off the top, like, this is 4 coaches. This is a team that used to have stability. It doesn't anymore. And when you don't have any stability, you start wondering why. It starts becoming, once it becomes a pattern, like, there's a pattern here now, right? And David, as I love saying you, it's year 4. It's year 4, buddy. Stuff goes wrong in year 4, and here we are.
Things happen in year 4. We got a super chat here. This one's from Tyler again. He said, really curious to know what the actual reason for him leaving is, whether or not it's the practice facility, money, or contract term. PJ, is it fair to say that it's probably a whole bunch of things that just mesh into one? You just said it. Like, you've got a superstar player, supposedly superstar player, that just is coming off an awful year, didn't do much at his year-end media avail to make you think, oh, well, he's going to turn it around next year. And obviously we've talked about that quite a bit. But, like, in your mind, what did this just come down to for Tocchet?
I think he said it.
Family. He cites family in the statement.
I don't know what that's about, because, I mean, his son lives in Seattle. I know he's got I believe he's a girlfriend in Vegas. But, I mean, I don't know. Family's important. Life conditions, I mean, I don't know. That stood out to me, but as well. But I come back to just the sort of the workplace situation and what was all there. And this was an immensely stressful year. Right. Those of us who go to the rink often, we're able to build a bit of a relationship with him. We talk to him after the cameras turned off. And like, as I said, he's a hockey evangelist. He loved talking hockey. But this year was really, really, really difficult. And if he has to sit back and look and say, listen, What are the chances it's a repeat of that? Like, he can't guarantee that PD's going to be the player he should be. Like, I think he'll be closer to the player he should be, but he can't guarantee he will be. And what happens with Quinn Hughes? If you talk to Quinn says, well, I don't know. Like, are you really going to lock yourself in? And he's 62, right? Like, it's not like he's got like tons of coaching life ahead of him. And if he wants to win a championship, I think realistically, it's not happening here in the next couple of years, right? It's somewhere down the road. So you're looking at a situation where you've got a coach that looks around. He's a popular guy. He's got connections around the league. He can look at all the openings that are out there. Some of them are actually quite interesting. But you're also talking about a situation where he knows what's here and he knows what isn't here. And as much as it might be beautiful, and I'm standing under a cherry blossom tree today, and beautiful spring, that's not enough. You have to be happy where you're going to work. And clearly, he looked at the situation and said, "I'm just not going to be happy here."
The Quinn Hughes angle. I think that's something that everybody's immediately thinking about is what does this mean for Quinn Hughes? We've already had some trade Quinn at the draft, start the rebuild now. Where are you when it comes
miserable.
to Quinn Hughes discourse?
Oh, I mean, that's just like all of it. I mean, it's a dark future, man. Like, no matter where we're at, because like I said, what coach is going to come here? Like you're going to be the fourth coach in 4 years. You're going to be at Rick Tocchet couldn't make it work. Like, what's going on? Quinn Hughes might be gone. Like, if you're Quinn Hughes, you're sitting back going, man, like, I mean, Jim Rutherford, I actually gave him credit. And I still give him credit. Speaking honestly about that last week, they know it's a huge, huge, huge challenge for them. It's tough, man. It's a bleak. I hate to be it. I'm glad I'm standing in the sunshine right now because it's bleak. Everything I think about right now is bleak.
Does it feel like Manny Malhotra is probably the guy?
I mean, that's the easy one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I would think. I like Manny Malhotra a lot.
Yeah, like listen, he did some really impressive stuff. I mean, that roster hasn't been always quality every night, but they've pulled it off. They're having a good run out there. They're doing something right. So that's a good sign. And an often underpowered lineup, and they still did stuff, especially coming down the stretch. Think about all the players that were in Vancouver and were now like Manny's done a good job. There's absolutely no doubt about that. He knows the NHL. I mean, like when he left the Canucks ahead of the 2020-21 season, and went to Toronto, like that, he was glue. Like it was clear that was going to be a tough guy to replace on that coaching staff. He is a glue kind of coach, so that stands him in good stead. But right now, the Canucks. I mean, whether you like Rick Tocchet or not, I come back to that point I've said how many times now. This is going to be the fourth coach in 4 years. Like that's just for every player that's been around for any amount of time. If you're Connor Garland, you're Elias Pettersson, right? Like that's just chaos. And what about these young defensemen? Like it's all just like what's going on here? No plan.
Quickly, I had the theory that Adam Foote's probably just going wherever Rick Tocchet goes. Like I'm assuming Rick Tocchet.
I have no doubt about that. Oh yeah. No. Those two have that. Like I think Adam Foote obviously came in with very little experience. His 1 year coaching was terrible in junior, but certainly came a long way last year. I wrote that story about how far he come just in a few months. And bright guy. He had experience coaching as a development coach. He'd been around. He obviously played the game at a very high level. Not every person that plays the game at a high level turns out to be a good coach, but there were clearly nuances to the game that he was picking up on. And I think Rick Tocchet found a really positive sort of partnership there. A guy that was really dialed into how he saw the game. A coach that he needed to hire someone in the moment. There's never anybody available mid-season, but he found him. And yeah, I think it's fair to assume that those two will go off together.
Okay, PJ, Harmon's been sitting there. I didn't realize that I was in another tab. But the final question I have, and I'm going to ask Harmon the same one, but the final one I have for you, PJ, is just like, what are you expecting to hear from Jim Rutherford in about 35 minutes time?
Yeah. What am I expecting?
Yeah.
I really don't know. I mean, he's going to put the angle, like he said. We did everything we could to keep him. And I'm curious to hear what he says, why that wasn't enough, And like Jim Rutherford's been around the block. Like, this guy knows what's up. He's won Stanley Cups. He's had a proven pattern of success. I don't know when we say that everything started going badly. I mean, do we go all the way back to last summer when they didn't nail any of the guys they wanted to keep? I don't know. But the last, 6-8 months have been absolutely terrible for this organization. And I want to know what he thinks he's going to be able to do going forward. I want to know how much, like, I don't, he's not a guy that's going to want to walk away from the project, but I want to know how much longer he's going to stick with this project, because you look around and there's not a lot of things to say are going well right now.
Thanks for taking the time, PJ. Appreciate
All right,
you.
boy. Have a good show.
All right. There he is, Patrick Johnston.